Let's move on now. The first week of GST is well and truly through, and we continue to get you opinions and insights from big industry names. In a BTVI exclusive, joining us now is Mazumdar-Shaw. She's CMD at Biocon. Ms. Shaw, good to have you on the show as always. You had warned about drug shortages due to the GST rollout. 5 days into the same regime, are you experiencing any of that?
I think, most of the supply chain seems to be coping. So I'm very pleased that the kind of apprehensions expressed by the stockists and the pharmacies is not quite the way they were expecting it. So I just hope that this continues to be smooth, and I hope that the companies don't face any problems.
Would you have preferred a delayed rollout for GST?
No, I don't think there was any point in delaying the launch of GST. I think it's a game-changing reform. I don't think we should be waiting for any kind of perfect GST to be evolved. And I just think we need to get on with it. I think it was very important to launch GST on 1st of July as it was expected to. And I'm really happy that this has happened. And I just think we need to now get on with it and keep course correcting as we encounter any kind of glitches.
Right. How bad will the impact of disruptions caused by GST be on corporate earnings, especially the P&L impact overall, if you can give us a view on that?
No, I think I take a very positive view. I believe that, it is very important and it will have a significant benefit to the Indian economy and to Indian business. So I just think we need to focus on making sure that we roll out GST in a way that basically delivers on what it is meant to do. And I think we should just focus on the positives, even if there are concerns and if there are some temporary impacts. I think we should really focus on the long-term benefits and the short-term benefits of GST in many, many sectors.
Right. Ma'am, let's shift focus to your business and Biocon in specific. You have a lot of promising drugs in the pipeline. There's a fear and apprehension in the market that some of those approvals may get a little delayed. Should one give any credence to those fears?
See, first and foremost, I think the most important focus for us as a company is really to get our regulatory approvals for these, bunch of biosimilar applications that are pending with US FDA. It all depends on what you refer to as a delay. We will have to abide by certain regulatory norms in terms of actually launching these products. I think we are really making sure that when we are ready to launch, that we have full preparedness in terms of catering to the demand that we hope it will create.
Right. For instance, what I was referring to is that there is an October deadline for the biosimilar version of trastuzumab. So do you expect an approval by then for this entity?
See, first and foremost, we have received several target action dates, starting with September, October, and thereon. I think those approval dates are a signal that the product has been approved, but you cannot just launch immediately. So you need to then be given time to get ready for the actual commercial launch. And that is what I'm talking about, that we need to be in a state of preparedness to make sure that when the product actually gets into the market, that we have everything right to cater to the market opportunity.
Right. What will be a possible timeline for the commercial launch of these drugs after the US FDA approvals come through?
There's no hard and fast rule. As you know, we don't want to comment on the actual commercial launch date because that is up to Mylan to actually announce that.
What is the progress in the commercialization and ramp up of the insulin facility in Malaysia?
So the Malaysian plant is up and running, and as you know, we've signed a pretty large offtake agreement with the Malaysian government, and that is absolutely supporting that plant operations and helping us to basically defray some of the costs that we have incurred and fixed costs that we have incurred in terms of this very large plant.
All right, how much of your revenue in the next couple of years will come from new launches from now on?
So if you look at what we have given as a projection, we have said that by, over the next 2 fiscals, we expect that, 20% of our revenues will come from biosimilars. And that is something we remain committed to. We have also said that our research services will account for 25%. We have talked about the fact that our, historic small molecules business is about 30%, and so on and so forth. So we remain very committed to this pie that we have shared with the market.
As you wait for some key approvals, are you also looking at acquisitions in US or Europe?
Not at the moment, because right now we are really focusing on making sure that we leverage all the existing capacities that we have created. And as you know, it will, all these opportunities that you're talking about will only be looked at once we have maxed out our capacities and our business prospects.
Are you looking to file any fresh applications?
Well, as you know, bevacizumab is a molecule that we have, got approval for the Indian market. But certainly we are ongoing in terms of our global development, and that will be an opportunity for us to file that in the near future.
And finally, before we let you go, given that GST on insulin is sharply lower, will you upgrade the profit forecast for this fiscal? If yes, by how much?
I don't think it's going to significantly alter our, our financials, because really a larger part of our insulins is really about the export opportunity.
All right, Ms. Shaw, thank you so much for joining in and giving us your view on a company-specific standpoint as far as what happens after GST implementation, what are the new launches in the pipeline, and what kind of revenue accretion or buoyancy you're looking at going ahead into the future. What we'll do is we'll take a very quick break. On the other side,